as if the forum hasn't been provocative enough ideas-wise over the last 2 days. I mean, the overall idea and the concept has been to provoke good discussion, but then you are trying to make a concentrate of provocations out of the final discussion, and that's only to be lauded, of course. Well, I'll try to give my 5 cents for that to happen. Ukrainians have been exceptional, and I deliberately use that word, exceptional, in the sense that we're beating back the Russians, surviving, being a role model of bravery for the whole world, or a sort of a laboratory, as Henry said. Well, that's one of the main reasons why I love Ukraine, and it's a love affair that has been going on for quite a while, and of course the real Ukraine is being exceptional during the big war has only deepened it. At the same time, well, when you use the word exceptional, you think about the word exceptional, then a closely linked word is exceptionalism, and that's an altogether different word. And actually that would be my main point, and I'm happy then to contradict everyone else on this panel. Well, exceptionalism basically has many shapes. Some of them we have heard in this panel, or overall that without any questions asked, Ukraine should become a member of the EU in 2027, or that Ukraine is too fast, too dynamic, too good for the EU, for the West, for NATO, for the US, well, for everything. I would still suggest that there are important forces that one has to take into account when discussing the future of Ukraine, the possibilities that Ukraine has. I mean, you have the laws of nature and the laws of Newton and all that. Well, actually, there is not much debate about those. That's good. There is the political logic, be it the concentration of power. Robert Mitchell's that was mentioned already today. Well, or you have financial limits. Every country in the world has financial limits, and Ukraine after the war will certainly have more than most. Or you have the famous market forces that limit the options available for any country. Or you have the powers outside. I mean, the 27 EU member states, okay, even if you don't consider them important enough, well, everybody else, all the other countries in the world, that still limit the possibilities for behavior for Ukraine. And as about, that was mentioned, that well, Ukrainians don't like anyone else telling them how to live, what rules to adapt. Well, I mean, it's up to the Ukrainians themselves, of course. But if Ukraine will stick to the current course of wanting to become an EU member, well, the EU will increasingly keep pointing out what rules you will have to adopt. And then one word that gets increasingly more used is negotiations. I mean, opening the real accession negotiations with the European Union. It's negotiations, it's a clear misnomer. There will be no negotiations. Ukraine will have to prove its readiness to take over EU rules, and you negotiate only about a little bit. I wanted to mention it yesterday, didn't manage. What was the main, nearly the only exception that Estonia negotiated for itself when we joined the European Union 25-something years ago? Well, Estonia is a rather wild country. We have many wild animals, bears, wolves, and actually we did negotiate a permission to keep killing bears, wolves, lynxes, and beavers, 4 kinds of big animal. Well, you're laughing because compared to the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pages of EU law, that's a tiny, tiny bit. That was the Estonian exceptional bit. And also, actually, before our accession, we thought we were too dynamic, too good, too wide to become an EU member state. Many people believe in that, and we are sort of, we like. Financial Times many years ago wrote, comparing Estonians and Slovenians, that they both like to be separated by their neighbors by a forest. Well, why go into a union where there is no forest maybe to separate you from others? And also it was wild in the sense that 30 years ago when I studied in Poland, once when I was traveling home by train, I met a guy from Luxembourg who worked on the railways there, who had a free ticket. So he was traveling 2 days by rail from Luxembourg to Estonia because he had heard that there were really great nightclubs there. And it was in the middle of the week, and it was really a party every day of the week at that time in Estonia. Well, that was 97. In 98, our then foreign minister, later President Toomas Ilves, said that the Estonian dream was to become another boring Nordic country. Well, we are nicely on the way. No party in the middle of the week. So the adrenaline levels have dropped significantly. The testosterone levels, well, okay, we are getting older as well. That's a fact as well. I mean, we used to be very young at the time, but still. So basically, I love all the dynamism, wildness, optimism, everything about Ukraine, but well, I will be happy, the day Ukraine will win the war, the day Putin will die, but maybe I will also be happy the day when Ukraine realizes, well, actually, yeah, maybe being a sort of if not a boring Nordic country, but something in that direction that would be a good thing as well. I mean, you cannot live on a high forever, but before that we have to destroy Russian imperialism and do a few more minor adjustments in the world. Thank you.